I know there's anger on about the situation. What up, y'all? Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy.
What up, yo?
And we've got Terry back in the building. Looks like he's almost there.
Hey, man, the studio's up, baby. Gotta get. I'm in the.
We got Terry Little to my left, right, and I got my man Pastor Brian McCory to the bottom.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate all my podcast listeners listening in and staying up on what's going down. All right. Am I not getting any comments? Or maybe nobody came building? Or I'm just spoiled.
No,
look, it's because we're on time.
Right. What's that doing? You're supposed to be late.
Yeah. All right. We normally don't get on to about 10 after.
Right. Listen, new year, we're gonna do better.
See, there's Mom. See?
There you go. Awesome. Comments are working.
Yeah. Look, Mom, I just told him Andy was wondering where everybody was. I said they're used to us getting on at like 10 after, so we're early. There's Mom. See?
There you go. Awesome. Right. Comments are working.
Hold time. All right, I got mine. Okay. All right. We're back.
Let's see.
So, hey, y'all. I missed you guys, man. No. I tried to call you guys via video a couple of times and nobody picked up, but it's so cute.
That's not true. I picked up.
Yes, yes, you did.
When you called, we was right here.
Well, yesterday when you called, we were still on. Yeah.
I called you guys. I was on the road. Here. I was like, I called my guys. I ain't seen. I ain't talked to them.
Bless Lisa. Thank you.
Morning, Lisa.
I love that little head scarf thingy. I love that. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you say head scarf thingy?
Yeah, I don't know what
he did.
I don't know what is it called? I'm sorry. What is it called?
It's a wrap, man.
Oh, it's a wrap. Oh, no, it's a wrap. Like we done? Oh, we mean wrap. I told you I missed you guys. Okay.
Thank you for sharing. All right. So today, we're gonna talk about like part of the process, and we all know what happened. We watched it. It was on everybody's news. If you don't know, you must have been asleep. You missed the whole day because you don't get on social media. You didn't turn on your TV. How could you not know what went down? But we all know we all know what would have happened if it was others of a different shade, and all that good stuff. But what I want to talk about is just the process of how the ejections went down, what happened in the Capitol after, and just the fact that there's so much more to the process. Good morning. That I never realized until DJT. So, it's kind of crazy. Like you knew that things can get wonky, but you never knew how long this process can get drawn out. And realizing it seems like regardless, it's still going to forge ahead unless you find something so substantial, that will invalidate or stop the process.
Right.
So we're gonna dig into that, and I wanted to play a clip from Lindsey Graham. He about the only time ever in the history of me ever knowing who this dude was that I agree with what he said. And just it's funny. I just read a comment. Yes, he was standing up to save face because he was just like, yo, this is out of control. Yeah. It's like you're playing the game and people start cheating and things start going wonky. It's like, okay, y'all about to ruin the game. You're about to mess the whole game up. Like it's just not gonna work out like it's supposed to if y'all keep messing with the game.
Right.
So let's dig into it. We got a lot to talk about, and we'll be right. Bizak. I didn't want to catch that. Morning. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? All right. So we appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us. So make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Let the people know that you are in the building. Tag someone that needs to be in this conversation, just so we can chat it up. Sometimes you just need to express how you feel to others, and we'll express back how we feel. What you just said. So come on in and share. So I'm gonna throw a twist on here before we even jump into that, right? Because that's the easiest one. Let's see, boom. And I just read this, and I was thinking, is it crazy to do this, or will it make a difference? So, there's an article. Let's see, how can I do this? Add. There we go. Bam. Rep Omar says she is drafting new articles of impeachment against Trump. And let me get Ilhan Omar. She's a senator. She's
She's part of the squad, right?
Yeah, she's part of the squad. Yeah. Oh.
A little.
So like many people have been saying, with what happened at the Capitol, we all in agreement that he's pretty much incited all of that, or let cause the environment for that to happen. And there is a fear that more could happen during the course of his last, was it 10, 13 days, 12 days, as we count down. And then I was thinking, we can wait it out, see what happens, and or if we can get him out of the spot, does he lose some benefits?
Yeah,
if he get kicked out of his job.
Yeah, he should lose his detail, because when they leave office, they still get.
Yeah, they got everything because they're ex-president. He retired basically. But I think about officials and I think about cops. When they get fired, it's like you don't get your pension, you don't get this, you don't get that. So that was my question. Like, do you think it's worth it for this process to go forward with?
Sup, peeps.
Sup, people.
I think that if they would have invoked the 25th Amendment, but even though that's a far cry, because the House is still Republican, they would never gotten the votes to do it. But if they didn't vote 25th, got him out, I think he should have lost everything. It's just like getting fired from, if you're a cop and you get your what they call that, pension. Stupid, and you get fired, you don't get your pension. Right. I think it's the same thing with this. I think if they would have invoked the 25th, pushed him out, he shouldn't get nothing. He don't deserve getting anything anyways. But it's not fair, I guess. But what happened yesterday was crazy. That was beyond nuts.
Right. So what do you think, Pastor?
About pulling him out of office?
Yes.
Well, first and foremost, one would argue that 4 years in the highest office in America can drive you insane.
They have last what's happening. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Clearly, this man has deteriorated psychologically over the years. I personally believe that it's America's fault.
Yeah, I heard somebody else say that too.
Yeah, because America put him in office.
Sure did.
Malcolm X has a famous phrase that got him in trouble, and he called it "chickens coming home to roost."
Right.
America created this monster, and America is living with the impact of the consequences of the creation of this monster. Privilege is why we have a Donald Trump. Privilege is why this took place.
Right. Just take a long gander at that. That's a moment of pause right there. And this is
Yeah.
And this guy,
if you ever wanted to understand the definition of privilege, this
Right.
is what it is.
Right. No
Right?
doubt.
And
No
right
doubt.
now, you know, I decided to put the background behind me this morning because I just wanted to know how long it would take for the Secret Service to come get me.
I'm telling you, man, they're halfway there, bro.
Yeah.
But I don't think, you know, my thing is, should a person lose, you know, you guys talk about benefits and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, what does Donald Trump need?
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a wasted argument. That the question really only is, should we not pull power from him?
Right.
Yeah, I think
Right.
so.
I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Right,
Like,
because you're not, you obviously yesterday proves that you can't pull influence from him.
right. Right.
So all you can do is take his powers to execute in the office of the president of the United States away from him. That's all you have.
Possible. I wonder if that's possible. Like, I mean, all things possible, but I wonder if there's a flip the switch, you know, like keeping somebody in their job, but flipping the switch on what they can do, you know, because I definitely believe in the lame duck for a president. There should be limitations, like as what they can do anyway, because if I'm about to lose my job, you know, there's no telling what I could do.
Well, consider yesterday that when it came to pulling in the National Guard and all that, no one dealt with Trump yesterday. They kept dealing with Vice President Pence.
Right.
All of that, everything that transpired in terms of bringing in law enforcement happened through Vice President Pence.
Right. Yeah.
People were asking, the news commentators, the anchors were asking, has anybody talked to the president? And everyone said, no, Pence made the first call. We've been dealing with Vice President Pence.
Right.
So it's clear that Donald Trump is out of his mind because but he has not been right since the election, since November.
He really went off the deep end then. You're right. Once it was kind of declared, right.
He has all the power.
But here's the thing. Please tell me, because you guys know we've been on here talking about this stuff.
Right.
Haven't we talked about being prepared for these folks rising up and flooding the Capitol? Haven't we talked about it?
Right.
Did we not know this was going to happen? We were talking about, you know, Trump telling people to show up at the inauguration and all that kind of stuff. You know, we knew this was going to happen. I don't care what anybody said. They let them folks walk right in yesterday.
And they were and the cops were taking selfies. Gotcha. People. I mean, come on. Yeah. I'm with Pastor Brian. I'm with Pastor Big Mac behind this one. They absolutely knew. They moved the barricade for these folks to come in. But I mean, but what level though is, you know, I'm trying to figure out. I was watching this stuff yesterday at work.
Okay.
And I was going, what is the actual end game here with these folks? I mean, they're in
it's never really an end game. When people are you know, it's just mess. You know, it's not really an end game. It's just like a lot of the protests that I've seen happen, you know, it's to cause a ruckus, get some attention. And it's crazy. But the thing is, like, you know, it's funny. I was you know, back and forth listening and working on some stuff while I was watching C-SPAN. You know, I bet you they're getting a lot of ratings right now. C-SPAN, the slowest moving government, well, not government channel, but channel that shows the government, you know, gives it in the most non-entertaining way, which makes it the best because you get to just see everything because they just got the camera pointed. You know, they make some commentary, you know, because today on this time they talked the most because they was like, okay, it looks like something's happening at the Capitol, you know, because you actually started seeing people like, okay, what's going on outside? What's happening? You know, and then they had to cut it because obviously they couldn't continue on and they had to probably, you know, secure and do all that good stuff. Hey, what's up, Dwayne? So I kind of watched it to that point.
You got that.
It's crazy. To me, it's crazy the process, you know, inside the Capitol, not just the rioters, but I'm talking about the process of the objections. And then, you know, as we watched yesterday, when I showed the one with Joe Biden, you know, 4 years prior, how they tried to do the objections, but they didn't have their paperwork in order. Right. You know, he just kept moving on, and it was like a 30 to 40 minute process, and boom, they were done. Whereas this time, It's like they got their ducks in a row. They was like, "Yep, I got my senators." So then they had to take those and they had to go back and discuss the objection. You know, and I don't know. For me, I was like, man, I'm tired. Like, really, we gotta sit here all day. I didn't plan on being here all day. Well, I take that back. If more than likely everyone planned on being there all day. I'm sure everybody knew, like, oh yeah, we were, honey. Yeah, I'll see you in like 3 days because I ain't coming home.
I mean,
you know. So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say when that stuff started happening. I mean, you got these reporters; they were hunkered down, you know, hiding. And so CNN was calling them up, Fox News was calling them up, and they were calling in. It was like, you know, well, we got to get out of here. We're afraid for our life. I mean, you know, this whole, I mean, we just retarded. But let's not forget there was a young lady who lost her life.
Yeah,
behind all this. I mean,
that's a whole nother.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother component to this conversation, Terry. Truly, and I do want us to hit that because it's. The reason it is relevant is you have to map that in comparison back to the BLM protests. Right. You have to map it back to the young white boy who traveled across the states with automatic rifles.
Yeah, they was gonna do that.
I told you I was gonna go. Right. I was gonna go help. I was head out there.
I'm gonna be a hero.
Gonna get me assault right. I know Pastor Dwayne got something that he can let me hold. Let me hold that.
What is that other platform you guys were telling me about, Dwayne? You guys told me about that you have to have an invite, something new.
Clubhouse.
Yeah. I was able to eavesdrop on a conversation with Lee Merritt, with civil rights attorney Lee Merritt, with another civil rights attorney out of the state of Texas. 21 Savage was on there. 21 Savage's manager was on there, and they were talking about all of that. I want to table that for just a minute, and because I'm so old, I'll forget that I had a point to make about that.
Go ahead, make that point.
I want to go back to something that you said, AD, about the process.
Yes. Yes.
The process. And the objection process, you have to realize that Senator Hawley started this off, right? And
Missouri in the building. Okay, no.
Right. But they knew going into yesterday that no matter what objections they had, the only thing they could do was delay the inevitable.
Right.
All they could do, and so all they were aiming to do was to express their objection with the outcome of the election. It couldn't change anything because they don't have the power to change it.
Right.
So all that conversation about do you have a signature from a state representative and a senator, because it takes both signatures to validate the objection. And if you have both signatures, now we have to go and debate for 2 hours, and then we take a vote after the debate for 2 hours. Then we come back into the session and we move forward to the next state.
Right. Yes.
And then the process starts all over again. And if there's another, you have both signatures, you go back and you debate for another 2 hours. You take a vote. You come and if the vote wins, right, you still don't have the power to change the outcome of the election. So I want to make sure that we all process this, and I want to really make sure we understand here.
Yes. Thank you.
It doesn't matter how much time you spend debating the issue. It doesn't matter having a state representative signature, having a senator signature, having the votes to validate the objection. Now it's on record, but it doesn't change anything. So you have to go in knowing that we're going to spend hours and we're going to come out of this with the same outcome.
Right.
So yesterday we were talking about there's a time and a place for everything. And I said, there's a time and a place, to express yourself. And that's not it. The reason that's not it is because no matter how much you express yourself, it doesn't change the outcome.
Right. Yes. Yes, indeed.
So when people start talking about improper use of taxpayer dollars,
the epitome,
because we have to pay them to be in session.
Yep.
And we had to pay for yesterday.
Yep.
We paid for that riot.
Yep. Woo.
Yep. That's what I want people to understand. I want people to understand that the impetus behind yesterday, it was completely driven by a person who calls himself the president of law and order.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We pay for mayhem. And so I guess my point is, coming out of all of that and knowing that you cannot change the outcome, I heard something from Senator Rand Paul yesterday.
Oh,
Senator Rand Paul said, what's amazing to me is we're fighting against something that only hurts the Republican Party.
Right.
Rand Paul said, you're only going to raise the argument that we have to do away with the Electoral College. Because if what you're saying is validated, if we prove that the Electoral College did not work, then please, everybody understand on the right, the only way we have ever won any election is because of Electoral College. Rand Paul said, if we do away with the Electoral College, we will never win another election.
Right. Like,
he was basically saying, you're destroying our ability to impute gerrymandering and keep the district lines drawn. Please stop arguing because you're killing us. That's what he was basically saying.
Right.
You're messing up our game.
Flip the board over like come on, dude, you're messing the game up.
Take your ball and go home. That's part of the game.
No, he like the dude that was like the dude that just go up and, oh, you beating me? You think you beat me? Reset.
Yeah.
Look,
I was that guy, dude.
I'm gonna bring back a lighthearted argument. That's why yesterday I said it wasn't shenanigans, because there was nothing that they could do at any point to change it. There was just express, let them get it out, even though it's the wrong place. Now, what happened yesterday was shenanigans.
Hey, literally.
Because if Terry would have been on the line, well, there's onesies and twosies, he gonna be the first one identified. Watch, I guarantee you, he gonna be in cuffs this morning. Well, we have a MAGA supporter, African American from Northern Virginia. We got this picture up. No, see, yesterday was shenanigans.
Yeah, fine with me.
And why was yesterday shenanigans? Because ain't nobody got broke legs. Nobody got broke.
I'm telling you.
That's why you laughing. You already know it's coming. I'm coming. You better stop. You are not allowed to talk about shenanigans. No.
Right.
So you don't agree there was shenanigans? That everybody went home.
I don't think it was shenanigans like either. I think they knew.
You don't think, Terry?
It was. You don't think that there was a secret plan regarding?
I think it was planned, but regardless whether it was planned or not, I'm talking about.
It was a secret plan. It was a deceitful thing to be done, right? Mm-hmm. And Trump knew that when he got finished talking on that platform yesterday, exactly what was getting ready to happen.
He knew
right?
it.
Mm-hmm. The average person did not know, but the people who charged the Capitol, oh yeah, there was a plan that had been decided early on.
Right.
They were going to do that.
Yeah.
Right. So it was shenanigans because it didn't stop anything.
Right. It did.
That's what makes it ridiculous.
But you heard him, AD. He said it was shenanigans.
Yeah, but listen, shenanigans. So the Brother Legacy definition of shenanigans.
We got to do Webster. We got to do Webster.
Did you hear my talk Monday about a man that made the dictionary? I've now started the BOL Oxford American Dictionary.
So this is your first word of the dictionary?
First word, shenanigans. Write that down, everybody. Shenanigans.
This boy.
And it ends with a Z, not an S. Shenanigans. But I'm just saying, it's kind of like your kids, When they get mad, they get fussy. It's like, dude, it's not gonna change nothing. It's not.
Right.
It's not. Just go ahead. The process is still gonna happen. You know, you're in trouble. I'm gonna get you. Get home. That's not gonna change anything.
Oh yeah,
it's still gonna get you.
I
when you get home.
look right past those tears. Crying for.
Right. If you got out there and voted correctly, your man will be in office. You know, like so. Go ahead,
I don't think you talked about Lindsey Graham though.
Oh yeah, let me throw that clip on because there was let me see if I can grab that clip real quick. Hold on. Well, keep talking, guys, because I gotta find it. That's what I was working on.
Okay.
Before we start talking shenanigans.
So yeah, these comments, so I can't pull them up though. I know there's a few of them.
I needed the American government, at least the city of Washington, D.C., and all those police officers lent from Virginia and Maryland that came in. I just needed somebody to have a contusion across the face or something. I really needed to see that.
None of that.
No, look. Y'all can look at me like I'm a Christian. Why am I talking like that? That's the right way for me to be talking is, God, take out the wrong in this country and fix it. But the man in me, the black man in me, like I needed to see some of that just to have a little bit of hope that, you know, maybe everybody's not like they say. I know every cop ain't bad because I was a cop. I know that. But I still need the rest of America to treat us the same. So if I get a busted head or a bullet, at least let somebody get let somebody go to the emergency room, or we got to treat you on the curbside. The beds are full from COVID. I need something, you know. I need something.
All right.
So ass ain't it.
Check this out. Resignations as of yesterday. Deputy National Security Advisor Matt Pottinger.
Yep, I heard about that.
First Lady's Chief of Staff Stephanie Grisham. U.S. Special Envoy for Northern Ireland Mick Mulvaney. Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Matthews. White House Social Secretary Anna Christina Nachetta. Those are a few of the resignations as of yesterday. And I quote, someone said this: I can't do it. I can't stay. That's what Mulvaney said.
It's just
I can't
that simple. It's just that simple. These folks, they're starting to smarten up because they now have to distance themselves from Trump. But if they want to continue to have some kind of political career, just like Mike Pence. Trump trying
it's too late. It's too late.
It's been too late though. This ain't smart at this point. This is the last 5 minutes of the Titanic.
Yeah.
But everybody in here knows.
I like that.
Everybody in here knows that Pence is going to run for president in 2024. We already know that. Right. So he had to distance himself from Trump.
Yeah, they were going to be. Yeah, you're right, Trees.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's do this. Whew. All right.
Got Lindsey Graham?
Yeah, this is Lindsey Graham. What Dr. Ron said by, he said they were going to be out anyway, right? Thanks for notice. All right, let's go. All right, let's see.
Has been the problem. I love it. That's where I want to die, but no time soon. Tim and I have a good relationship. I love Tim Scott. 1876, South Carolina, Louisiana, and Florida sent two slate of electors. They had two governments, by the way, and we didn't know what to do. Why did South Carolina, Florida, and Louisiana do it? To hold the country hostage to end Reconstruction. It worked. The commission was 8-7. It didn't work. Nobody accepted it. The way it ended is when Hayes did a deal with these three states. You give me the electors, I'll kick the Union Army out. The rest is history. It led to Jim Crow. If you're looking for historical guidance, this is not the one to pick. If you're looking for a way to convince people there was no fraud, having a commission chosen by Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, and John Roberts is not going to get you to where you want to go. It ain't going to work. So it's not going to do any good. It's going to delay, and it gives credibility to a dark chapter of our history. That's why I'm not with you. But I will fight to my death for you. You're able to object. You're not doing anything wrong. Other people have objected. I just think it's a uniquely bad idea. We've had a hell of a journey. I hate it being this way. Oh my God, I hate it. From my point of view, he's been a consequential president. But today, first thing you'll see. All I can say is count me out. Enough is enough. I've tried to be helpful. But when this Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled 4-3 that they didn't violate the Constitution of Wisconsin, I agree with the 3, but I accept the 4. If Al Gore can accept 5-4, he's not president. I can accept Wisconsin 4-3.
Talk.
Pennsylvania, it went to the Second Circuit. So much for all the judges being in Trump's pocket.
Talk.
They said, no, you're wrong. I accept the Pennsylvania Second Circuit that Trump's lawsuit wasn't right. Georgia, they said the Secretary of State took the law in his own hands. He changed the election laws unlawfully. A federal judge said, no, I accept the federal judge, even though I don't agree with it. Fraud. They said there's 66,000 people in Georgia under 18 voted. How many people believe that? I asked, give me 10, and I had 1. They said 8,000 felons in prison in Arizona voted. Give me 10, I hadn't gotten 1. Does that say there's problems in every election? I don't buy this. Enough's enough. We got to end it. Vice President Pence, what they're asking you to do, you won't do because you can't.
Thank you.
You talk about interesting times. I associate myself with Rand Paul. How many times will you hear that? The mob has done something nobody else could do to get me and Rand to agree. Rand is right. If you're a conservative, this is the most offensive concept in the world, that a single person could disenfranchise 155 million people.
Woo.
The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and the House of Representatives, open all certificates, and the vote shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes for president shall be president. Where in there does it say Mike can say, I don't like the results? I want to send them back to the states. I believe there was fraud. To the conservatives who believe in the Constitution, now's your chance to stand up and be counted. Originalism, count me in. It means what it says. So, Mike, Mr. Vice President, just hang in there. They said we can count on Mike. All of us can count on the Vice President. You're going to do the right thing. You're going to do the constitutional thing. You got a son who flies F-35s. You got a son-in-law who flies F-18s. They're out there flying so that we can get it right here. There are people dying, to my good friend from Illinois, to make sure we have a chance to argue among ourselves. And when it's over, it is over. It is over. The final thing, Joe Biden. I've traveled the world with Joe. I hoped he lost. I prayed he would lose. He won. He's a legitimate president of the United States. I cannot convince people, certain groups, by my words, but I will tell you by my actions that maybe I, above all others in this body, need to say this. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are lawfully elected and will become the president and the vice president of the United States on January the 20th.
Well, Mr. Lindsey, now
as a black man born and raised in South Carolina, me and the Black Panther Chadwick Boseman.
And he freezes.
Well, at any rate, behind that, yeah, take a picture. There you go. But with that coming, I think Lindsey actually has a original invite to the barbecue.
Listen, stop.
No.
Stop.
Nope. Sorry. I love
Again, back to Dwayne's point. Take the last 5 minutes on the Titanic, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Come on. He's back. Dwayne, we got you, man. Come on, finish the point. Look, you and the Black Panther.
I was about to talk junk to AT&T again. Look.
Mr. Dwayne, what is he's right. That wasn't good.
All I was gonna say,
I should wait for a break.
all I was gonna say is that as a black man from South Carolina, me and Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther, are finally proud to say that person represented like what South should be. Because the Lindsey Graham that I've seen over the last couple of years, I've had some issues with, but that was a grown man mature.
5 minutes.
Yeah, that was a grown man being mature.
Yeah,
he got a good 5 minutes. He could
right. That was a broke clock being right twice a day.
Right. You guys know what it's like to be having a conversation with a person who takes pride in finishing your sentences. That's what that was last night. As far as it was, that was the laws of common sense talking. And Lindsey Graham knowing what they're getting ready to say, he's going to finish the sentence as if it was his original thought. Come on.
Right.
Come on,
man. I apologize for the viewers that were watching that thought somehow we were going to be on Lindsey Graham's side.
Come on.
Sorry.
Come on.
I mean, it was, like I said, it was great that they finally admitted, which is great. And he spelled it out good. You know, historical references. It always sounds good, but you know.
Right.
We still feel the same way about Lindsey.
Chris Rossetti, thank you. Thank you, Chris Rossetti.
Maybe my service will be
anybody can speak for 5 minutes.
So what you're saying is it's like Michael Jordan dropping 45 and the Bulls winning by 25, and then somebody just gives the recap of the game and they talk Michael Jordan was. Basically what
no. It's like Michael Jordan scoring 45, the Bulls winning by 25, and at the last second, Steve Kerr hits a 3-pointer, and everybody calls him clutch.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, right? And they celebrate him and forget all about Mike. It's like, got my man on the shoulders, right?
Yeah, he would have had to come out swinging with that statement for me to be like, okay, the Republican Party in South Carolina might be trying to. He said the obvious, like, but I'm glad it was said, because even though some things are common sense, it still don't get said, like the shenanigans outside of the Capitol. Like, to see a broken bone, I'm sorry, I needed somebody to have a facial contusion. I needed to be ruptured kidney or something. Somebody needed to be in ICU. Because it looked like they were planning to doing the Black Lives Matter, same city. It looked like they was about to execute everybody. It looked like we was about to go to World War III.
Yeah, I seen what's up, baby.
What's up, Alcina? So Cole Johnson said the Lindsey Graham we saw in October on Fox begging for donations was different than the one we saw last night. Right. And he said, "Oh, wait a minute, slow up on Steve Kerr."
Hey man, I'm a Steve Kerr fan, man.
Speech. Nice. Oh,
great fluffy speech. Listen, when I was a young minister, 33 years old, I learned something. Bishops, whenever there was a big program, a big conference or something, and they had 5 minutes, a spare 5 minutes, they would grab one of the young ministers and say, "Get up there and give us 5 minutes of preaching."
Right.
That's what they would do. And the goal was for you to get up there and have something to say for 5 minutes, because the point was, if you can't get up there and give me 5 minutes, God hasn't called.
You ain't ready.
Right. That's just the reality. Anybody should be able to come up with a 5-minute spiel, and make it work.
Right. Oh, he said Alcino said the White House because it's blocked up. Well, people climbed that fence and going over and ran that whole stretch. And I know one dude made it into the house. I always said you can't get to Capitol because it's live. We agree. We spoke about that earlier. How we kind of agree on. Yeah, they kind of allowed that because I was like, man, ain't no way.
Let me give you some insight to how I've been thinking.
He said you made the potato salad with the.
That's it. That's it, Cole. That's it right there.
Not the raisins. Like, I'm gonna give y'all. Okay, so. Okay, I worked it out in my head. I got the things that I can talk about. Okay, so number one, in America on a daily basis, there are at least 100 double terrorist plots a day. Credible,
right?
At least. If you go to the FBI.gov, you can get an unclassified listings of any credible terrorist plot. They'll put the unclassified side on there.
Yep.
The only thing I can say is the classified slides to that are like 5 times longer. Right. So I'm gonna just name some activities that get these threats and they grow. The Super Bowl, the NBA playoffs, the NFL playoffs, Wimbledon, all of those little. Right? So, what do you think happens during elections, during inaugurations? Those threats and those plots go through the roof legitimately.
Right.
Just people talking, but legitimate threats.
Right.
And you know what happens on the backside of that? Local law enforcement, state law enforcement, they start to put plans in. You know, we're behind the scenes, but hey, we're ready for this, and this. Why? Because there's credible threats. And yesterday was one of those times that I will be willing to bet my guys, put them on a table with a meat cleaver in front of you. If I'm wrong, snap them off and I never see them again. Yesterday were several credible threats. And for the capital of the United States of America to be breached. Yeah. I ain't feeling it. Nah.
The black guy that clearly was there being nosy.
He was.
You know, it kind of funny. It looked like he wandered in. Like,
what's up, Mike?
No, he was joking.
He said, "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
He had his MAGA hat on backwards.
Oh man,
what I miss? I had to go and.
Oh no, he just how would they not know about the threat to the Capitol and not be prepared? Yeah, so I believe there was some collusion.
It was
collusion. He said if there was a threat, they would have let them near.
I think that's the issue. I think that's what you have to realize is that when you know, this is the part that frustrates me about all of it. When you consider yesterday happening, when BLM happened, the police presence was already there.
Right, because they knew they were coming.
They knew they were coming.
There's conversations.
That's the difference between them knowing we're coming and knowing they're coming.
Right.
Right. When they're coming, they don't prepare for any threats.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Maybe they don't see them as threats.
No, I'm saying but we're talking about the difference between being us and having privilege.
I don't think so.
Because when you have privilege, you have to realize when you looked at those two lines bumping up against each other yesterday, they just fought.
Right.
There was no tear gas. I mean, there was some tear gas at some point, but they weren't shooting bean bags or anything like that at rubber bullets at anybody. None of that was happening.
They were barely swinging the asp.
Right. They had billy clubs, but they were holding them up in a defensive posture. Right. I saw police officers pushing the gate and then jumping back like they were afraid.
Yeah.
You understand? Right. And so that's the difference between us and them. And I hate to even say that. I literally saw a video of a black police officer inside the Capitol, standing there, extending his club, pointing his club at people with the pistol on his hip, saying, back up. And they kept coming. And he ran up to the next flight of stairs, turned around, back up. And they kept coming. He ran to the next flight of stairs, turned around, back up. He called on the radio, somebody come and help me. I'm like, if that was me at the bottom of those stairs,
you'd have shot me at the bottom of the stairs.
He would have had his gun drawn and probably fired. Right. And so when you can see that stuff happening,
all right,
it's the clear picture of the difference between how America sees minorities and how America sees white.
Complete slap in the face.
It's really just that simple.
It really is, because I was having a conversation with my wife. I was like, baby, she was like, I'm glad you ain't a police no more. I was like, you know what? If I was there, I was like, I'd have been cracked somebody's head. No, I seen the police get snuffed, like straight up with chin check.
Yeah.
And this is what happened. Get back. No, sir. This is a mob. I'm like Eddie Murphy. Anybody else want to live?
Yeah.
I'm kneecapping people left and right.
I think they would have went old school on us. If it was black protesters like that, I think they would have had to. They'd have pulled the fire hoses out, dogs, the whole thing. I think they would have went right back to the '60s with that.
Okay, so I have a question. Aren't there laws like if we're in a theater, a crowded theater, yelling fire, so should someone be charged or in trouble for inciting this? Now, obviously we want to point directly at Trump, but forget the but. Point directly at Trump. Coming down from that level, right? Would you say, is it possible that there are other organizations or people involved that should be charged if there's connection? Let's just say I don't even know if Rush Limbaugh or them other dudes have said anything about it. Yeah, Proud Boys, right? Because what's the RICO laws?
I had that same conversation with my wife yesterday. I said President Trump needs to be arrested under RICO. She laughed, and I was like, "It's not funny." I was like, "Did you hear what he said? Did you hear his words? And what happened? You saw a direct reaction." I think if somebody really wanted to, it would be pushing it, because the system probably wouldn't allow it to happen. But there's no difference between what he just orchestrated yesterday and the 5 families of New York during the 80s and the 70s. There's no difference.
Dr. Rollins said the narrative needs to change, though. This wouldn't have been us. We keep saying if it was us. This isn't BLM style spirit. I think the point is, Dr. Rollins, is that if we were at the Capitol protesting, if we had even approached those stairs, it would have been a whole different ballgame. I agree with you. We're not trying to break into the Capitol. We're not trying to break windows or get in there and sit at people's desks and all that kind of stuff. You're right. That's not anything anything close to what we were trying to express during the Black Lives Matter movement. You're right about that. Honestly, but the bottom line is, if the reality is we couldn't have even gotten as close as they got to the state capitol. That's the point. Our message is, if that were us at the Capitol, we would not have gotten that far.
Yeah, not even close.
But I was sitting there thinking, say all 4 of us was at a protest and the line was broken down and they started charging into the building. To me, I believe we all be looking like, I ain't going in there.
I'm good.
Right. But think about this though. Even, and to Dr. Rollins' point, even when the BLM, even when they were out in the streets,
no one's ever. They never
black
tried to
people
get
breaking
in the
windows.
Yeah.
No. It was. It was. I mean, maybe there might have been a couple. Right. But the reality is that the majority of the people that were damaging property did not look like us.
Right.
And
oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm changing the corners. I'm turning the corner. So you go ahead.
Okay. The only thing I wanted to say was Kevin Peoples' huge difference between previous protests and their protest yesterday. Yesterday was not a protest. I think Cole said earlier that was a 50,000 person temper tantrum is what that was.
Right.
And so
right.
That was not even a protest.
Those were Trump tentacles yesterday.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's what those were. But the other thing, and this is where I was going to go with this, is that, you know, if you go and listen to Fox News,
right,
the narrative for Fox News is, well, I didn't hear you all complaining when Black Lives Matter was marching up Pennsylvania Avenue, right?
When did the Capitol?
And here's my point. The point is, yesterday was because Trump lost the election.
Right.
Black Lives Matter is because you're killing us in the streets.
Right. Right.
Our protest was a protest because we were dying in the streets.
Right.
It had nothing to do with being mad because you lost an election.
Right.
To compare yesterday's antics with the purpose behind Black Lives Matter is a crime in and of itself. I posted something and I said, what if now imagine them being black. I posted that yesterday.
Yeah.
And someone came back and said exactly what I just said. Well, we've experienced for the last 7 months them tearing your stores down, burning up your buildings, killing men and women in the street. I'm like, since when was Black Lives Matter responsible for killing anybody?
Anybody.
Right. When people were killed, they were killed by a white man and they were killed by police.
Right.
So what I'm trying to figure out is, in what world are some of these folks living in?
Right.
When you try to compare yesterday's antics with the purpose behind the Black Lives Matter movement. We're marching because we want to stay alive.
Right.
You all were protesting because you all were tearing stuff down because Trump lost the election.
Right.
I think they're looking for justification for whatever. That's the reason why they tried to compare it. That's something they got to compare it to.
Right.
So it's
okay. So Kevin,
Hey,
I see it. You tell me when you're ready, Dwayne.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Oh,
pop it up there for a quick minute, because all I want to say is the response, not even the response preparation for the two. I just want you to see this. For those, I know a lot of people have seen this, but this is just a picture of Black Lives Matter decided that they were going to do a protest in the same location. That's what we saw.
Right.
It's a difference.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right.
And that was before they even showed up. That was at the
Facts.
announcement that we're going to be there.
Right.
Facts.
That's Trump's
that was good.
law-abiding world. That's him saying he's the president of law and order.
Right.
So he was still the president yesterday, though.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I'm
Kevin,
still.
Let me read this real quick. He said, I love celebrities, but if Eminem told me to do something crazy, I'm telling him no. Trump, the celebrity he is, he tells them to do this yesterday. I hope next he tells them to all jump off the bridge and see the same amount of time we follow the order. Go ahead, Terry.
Trump is almost as bad as David Koresh and what's my man, Jim Jones.
You said almost.
He was, man. We're talking about national reach. They were regional. They were regional. Trump is national.
Yeah, but here's my thing: is that Trump is still in office, still carrying power uptown, right? And the Proud Boys, you ain't heard nothing from them,
right?
I mean, he's still he's gonna dog whistle if he ever gets back on camera. Because I don't know if you guys saw the press conference yesterday, the first one. Oh, did he do more than one? I only saw one. Did he do more than one?
I think he only.
This is when he came on there and he was telling them to go home, and he was like,
"We got robbed, but
we got robbed. He took the election from us, but
you're talking about Trump, yeah."
And he was like, "I want you guys to go home. We love you guys. You're special," is what he said.
Right.
He did.
Right. We love you. You're special. We love you.
Special.
You're special. Yeah.
that line was almost as bad as when he went to Charlottesville and said,
right. I think they took Sam tried to get it. Said they took that video off Twitter.
Oh yeah, he got blocked for 12 hours, and if he don't remove his videos, he's gonna be permanently banned. If he don't remove the tweets, he's gonna be permanently banned. But he got a 12-hour jail time sentence.
I'd like to see that happen. My response to the 12-hour sentence was, that's like telling a child to go in the corner and stand for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, right? Yeah, one timeout or something. Yeah.
And he's still gonna throw a tantrum because he has to sit in timeout. Right. Can you imagine Trump sitting at home for 12 hours?
Look, Melania already said she was like, well, Donald, I was gonna stick with you for a little longer, but I cannot deal with this anymore. I just can't deal with you no more, Donald. You're too much.
Listen, man. Can you imagine, just for a second, on the lighter side of all this, can you guys imagine Melania right now? She's somewhere in the closet, like.
Oh wow! So the band just lifted 30 minutes ago. No post says yet. He's forming them. He's writing them out. He's gonna start firing them off.
He is writing up this tweet.
Yes,
Biggie was doing.
His chief of staff resigned. Yes,
and she should have. Melania should resign too.
All right, Pastor, we love you, man.
And so it's crazy. But
yeah.
So Terry, do you think Melania is like scared for the next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, like, do you think Melania is thinking like life after Washington or life after Donald? Which?
Yeah, Cole just said it. Cole just said it in his comments down there, and he said Melania is planning her divorce from Trump. Over or under? Yeah, wow. I'm going under. If we were betting.
So over under. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's I've been feeling that it's probably gonna be like a couple of months, and then they'll probably separate, and she might divorce some years from now. But
I heard from a reliable source that I really and I know people look at me and they're like, "You a black dude from Georgia, you ain't got no reliable source." But I heard from a reliable source that she was gonna get a divorce prior to and then and it changed everything.
Oh, you said once he won?
No,
like she was literally going to get a divorce, and then he won, and then it changed.
Yeah, wow. But actually, I really do believe that she's bothered by this. I because she's sat by and been silent, doesn't mean she's not bothered. I really believe she's bothered by this. This dude is a raving lunatic in the White House right now, and he's still, like I said,
I can imagine. Yeah,
with little hands.
He still can invoke certain things, and he can still do, like I said, dog whistle to the Proud Boys. I know Cole said the Proud Boys are probably shutting up. I don't think so. I think they're ready for inauguration day. I think this is going to be crazy. I think if since they didn't have any warning about January the 6th, let me go ahead and warn the good folks down there at the government office.
Right.
That January 20th is coming. Can we have some extra? Can we have the National Guard there? Because you know it's going to go down.
Well, here's what I think is going to happen, Terry. Proud Boys or no Proud Boys, did my camera go away?
Yeah, okay. Camera. Once you said that.
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
Okay, so Proud Boys and no Proud Boys, what I think we're going to see.
Right. You got to catch that on Zoom. I was thinking that too. Because I would not.
I just like to think that
that's crazy.
President-elect Joe Biden, who then will be President Joe Biden, is going to have a whole lot more hands-on in this process than everything right now, where he's just president-elect. And then on top of that, I think that the mayor of Washington, D.C. is probably going to take a larger approach. He has to, because it's his city. And ultimately that's what kind of forced the hand yesterday when he created the what you call it, the curfew, the 6 o'clock curfew.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was a direct response to what was going on. So I think that other roles are going to be taken a little more serious the next time around.
Wow.
You know, somebody said something about. No, I'm gonna say this.
Casino that bad.
Man, Bowser.
Man, Bowser. No. I want to say this about Fox News. And Fox News labeled this whole thing yesterday.
What's up, Rich?
Sad. What's up, Richard? As sad. You know what's sad? Is that, you know, we let a lot of people that's been out of work because of a pandemic. That's sad. People can't afford to pay their rent. That's sad. People who are getting evicted during a pandemic. That's sad. What happened yesterday was not sad. What happened yesterday was a complete destruction, or the attempted destruction of our American democracy. That's not sad. So when Ephraim say that Fox News is doing this thing soft, I'm in 100% total agreement, because when you downgrade something like that to just being sad,
listen, because they might have turned on Trump, but they ain't turned on the Republican Party, so they got to play it down. They want this thing to go away as quietly and as fast as possible.
I need you guys to leave the mob alone, okay? they're just mob. They're not thugs.
Yeah,
that's reserved for you. Okay, you're a thug. They're the mob. Okay.
Right. That too. He said, "How fast can an impeachment process go? Can we get him out of here in 13 days?" So, real quick, I did send you a link, but maybe at work. But holler at me later.
And how that's a representative republic. It's not even it's a representative republic.
So yeah, I think it happened fast. I'm sure. Because all I got to do is come to the floor, bring some arguments, sign some papers, and he out. They signed it in the House because they'll probably they got the majority there. Then they go to the Senate, and if they're angry enough, they'll all just sign. All right, he out. You know?
Can somebody go ahead and give Donald Trump his exit survey already?
Yeah, he's out.
You know, after you lose your, you know, after you quit your job or whatever, or you
right.
And look,
please.
Look, Don, I'm gonna tell you how.
He said how all these countries get.
Thank you, Pink.
Every month under the pandemic is right.
That's sad.
Look,
that's sad.
This is the last week of school. Look, this is the last week of school when you're a senior. That's what Donald Trump doing right now.
Yeah.
I want to can I get under Miss Jenkins' nerves? Can I get under the principal's skin? Let me piss the football team off. Hey, that Gatorade, that won't Gatorade.
All right, gentlemen, we're about to wrap this up. We appreciate you guys rocking with us tomorrow Friday. Yeah, we got to do something.
Share this, and if you didn't share this broadcast, put it together.
Right? Yeah, they reprimanded us. Right. Like we use the peaceful ones. We don't ever have.
And France ain't never won a war, and they spanking us on the hand. They lost every single war. We had to save them in every war.
Right.
Except the French Civil War they had. They won that one.
Right. He said it wouldn't mind the White House looks like the South Korean Parliament. Right.
Exactly.
No, because Trump would get knocked out the first. No, I don't think.
Definitely, Richard. We're definitely praying for you, Richard. I know you have a few scares happening, but you're just getting checked out. We're praying for the best. We're praying for God's protection. We're praying for God's healing. If there's any issues, we're praying for great things. Then you're gonna back it up with that. All right.
I was about to open. About
to give you some bread. You know what?
Let me go ahead and help Richard out real quick before we go. Listen, Richard, I get you love the Seahawks. Okay, and you've been saying that since you've been following me, at least the past year and some change. The Seahawks will not win a Super Bowl. Let it go. Okay, they don't have a defense. Let it go. All right.
You're welcome.
They have to get past Kansas City at any point. Now, Kansas City 2 hours down the road from me. So next season I'll be up in Arrowhead. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there.
You about to jump on the bandwagon?
I'm jumping down that bandwagon. There's room for me. There's room for me now.
At least you in the state.
All right, we're gonna get out. Pink Petty, I appreciate you as well. Thank you for rocking with us. If you're coming in more, let us know your name so we can call you by name. We like to know names up in here. Personal. This is a group conversation.
They want to win. Okay, come on, Cole. Cole.
They do have a ring. You're right.
You know what? Y'all don't think Cole Johnson, my man, homeboy. I know that, sir.
Oh, and a quick shout out to Cole Johnson and the Sports Channel. I was checking it out.
I'm not a sports person. It's really entertaining. If you correct me one more time, I'm going to unsubscribe. Stop it. I'm kidding.
Hey, look, Cole, tell him to stop putting out misinformation in this critical season that we're living in. You should look at it and see what happens when misinformation and disinformation happens, sir.
No, okay. No,
all right, let's shut it down. That's enough. Hey, we appreciate you guys. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, Freestyle Friday. Unless something crazy happened, and we'll have some more serious talk. But prayerfully not, then we can have some fun tomorrow. As always, make sure you share. Tag somebody that can be a part of this conversation. Also, I don't know if Dr. Rollins is still in the building. I'm gonna mention her book again. Engaging and working with African American fathers.
I need that book.
It's a deep book. It's very well structured, so you get a lot of information, no fluff. Information, no fluff. All right.
Is it on Amazon?
So
you know,
yeah, it is.
Alcino had before he left, though. You know, before we get out
I know
of
he
here.
always got his mask. He said that's when folks tell you to wear a mask that don't. There you go. It works.
Dr. Rollins. Shout out to Dr. Rollins.
There you go.
She does this. She does this.
Yes. All right, guys. All right, we're going. I ain't gonna mess with this dude today. We ain't got time. We're gonna have our own show. Me and you, Alcino. I'm gonna make this happen.
Hey, John Gray, same thing that Halcino said last night. I just want to point it out there.
John Gray and Halcino, same. Let's investigate. All right, guys. Let's always know that we love you, but God loves you more. We see you in the morning. Peace out. Have a great day. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another. Good morning.